Welcome, everyone, to Stoked, the now officially 1-year-old Star Trek online podcast.
We should have had party hats for this one.
Oh, dude, birthday hats would be awesome. Here, let's hold still. Ding! There you go.
I'm not doing that in post.
Oh, come on.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Anyways, my name is Chris.
And my name is Jeremy.
Now, we should say that we do have a pretty cool show lined up. We did a couple of things for you guys. First up, we're going to have a ship-heavy news segment.
Yes, we are.
We're going to get some of the normal day-to-day business out of the way, but after that, we've got highlights of some of our favorite moments from
kind of a collection of our favorite memories, some of the milestones from the past year of episodes that we put together.
Some of the things we got a little wrong.
Yeah.
You might have noticed this show is a year old, but the game's about 6 months old.
Yeah, about 6 or 7,
Yeah. So we were out before the game was, and we had to go off some of the rumors, and we had to make a few predictions. Sometimes we got things a little wrong. Mm-hmm. We threw some of those in there, too.
It's fun to watch, guys. You'll enjoy it.
And then also, Cryptic contacted us and said, hey, guys, we heard your 1-year anniversary might be coming up, and we said, you know what? We're going to send you guys a camera. So we sent Cryptic a camera in the mail, and they passed that around the office and had some of their crew get on there and wish us a happy 1 year. Mm-hmm. So we'll be featuring the devs themselves at the end of this episode.
Why don't we dig into these ships, though? Because I know you're extremely excited to talk about this.
Oh, my gosh, Jeremy.
You are such a ship geek.
Okay. You guys
can't believe I do this with you every week.
I am so obnoxious. I really love starships, and I bought myself the Excelsior.
Of course you did.
I really like the new Excelsior.
Of course you bought it.
It is gorgeous. It's a great looking ship. It has that classic Star Trek look to it. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, it's while it is very elegant looking, it is not exactly perfect to the original Enterprise B. I went with the Enterprise B refit.
You really have to pick those nits to see
I would like to see the saucer section a little thicker, have a little more girth to it. But you know what? That would be a very minor thing. I think this ship looks great. I flew all around the new episodic content that we'll be talking about later in the episode. Yeah. I love the heck out of it. This thing also, if you like your engineering abilities, this is the ship for you. It has a lot of engineers' toys, and it also has a fairly decent tactical slot. I am actually a science guy, which means my science. I only have 2 abilities, and I had to pick, and I went with Sensor Jam, and I went with Science Team 2.
You forgot to leave Space Dock with a tractor beam, though, didn't you?
I totally did. But don't worry, I'll get that on Tuesday. Now, the ship itself is a lot more maneuverable compared to, like, say, the Galaxy X.
Yeah. Other ships in the same tier, if you're used to flying cruisers, this thing, I think it might be a little smaller, and that might help it feel more maneuverable, but it definitely feels more maneuverable.
Yeah. Now, I did have the Galaxy X before this, and I did actually immediately miss the cloak and the phaser lance.
You gain on the Excelsior in lieu of those phaser lance and the cloaking ability is that transwarp.
Yeah.
And that can be really handy.
I like the transwarp.
I mean, you've got a list here. You can go to Alpha Centauri series, regular Picanus. It's every sector in the game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And which is great when you're like when you want to do out some DSEs and things like that.
Or you want to join a fleetie that's across the universe to help them out. Yeah,
exactly. They made a funny though. Did you hear about the funny?
I did hear about the funny.
What is it?
Every once in a while, when you try to fire off your transwarp, it'll go through the whole warm-up sequence. The transwarp incoming in 3, 2, 1.
Just from like Search for Spock in Star Trek 3 when Scotty had sabotaged the engine. I think that's funny they snuck that in there.
It is funny as hell.
I haven't had it happen. I've used the transwarp twice. It hasn't happened to me.
I think anybody that knows that movie and recognizes, because it sounds like they took the sound effect right out of the movie. The first time it happens to them, I think they're going to laugh their butt off. Maybe the second time, they might still find it amusing. By the third time around,
probably might get a little frustrating because the timer, the cooldown still is in effect even if you don't transwarp.
Yeah, it actually is a failure of your transwarp engine.
I think that's clever and canon. And, I mean, the worst case scenario is I just have to travel like I would have had to travel anyways.
Yeah, but you're giving up your phaser lance for it, or the ablative hull plate if you're coming from an Intrepid.
That's true.
You got to give up a lot for it. I don't know that people are going to be entirely happy with the fact that it doesn't function every time.
Now, staying in the ship theme of things.
Yeah, despite all the really cool stuff about the Excelsior, I'm not flying it.
That's what I was wondering.
I could not give up on the science abilities. But the ship that's coming out that I might be tempted to trade out for is the Nebula.
Now, really? Okay, I'm not super excited about the Nebula.
No, and the reason I'm still hesitant, despite the stats being pretty good, is this is easily probably the ugliest ship I have ever seen come out of Starfleet.
I know, dude.
Who the heck was Who had their head on backwards when they put this thing
Cryptic's
together?
fault. It's just an ugly ship.
It is. It looks like somebody was carrying the Galaxy along and like tripped and dropped it, and instead of like putting it, they just like scooped it up and
they attempted to put that thing back together again. It really looks like it looks like they took the saucer of the Galaxy, they stuck a wedge of cheese on top of it.
Oh yeah.
and then they put T-Rex arms for warp nacelles on that thing, and it's this weird looking awkward ship.
It's terrible.
And
looking.
I also think it should be a science ship.
Well, that's the interesting thing about it is despite it being classified as a cruiser, it has a universal bridge officer slot.
Oh, this is the first Federation ship to have a universal bridge officer slot.
Which is causing a little bit of an uproar in the Klingon community because they're
That's kind of their thing.
First you took our cloaks, now you're taking our universal bridge officer slots.
Next they're going to be taking their women.
Well, I don't know that I'd really take a Klingon woman, but that's beside the point.
Maybe we should move on.
Yeah.
Now, it
has some cool abilities.
Yeah.
One of them is this, what do they call it? The tachyon detection grid. The cool part about this ability is that it's not just a buff from your ship, but every ship within that 10-kilometer range extends the buff another 10 kilometers. So it really is a detection grid that increases your stealth detection and things like that.
That is super cool.
It's a cool mechanic.
And could be really useful. Now, I guess those kind of things aside, I'm still not getting grabbed by this ship.
I'm really not.
I think I'm going to see you flying it though.
I'll probably try it out. Because they do have an alternate skin coming. I saw a one screenshot of like it looked like a slightly sleeker design,
a little more STO looking.
We'll see if that tickles my fancy. But I just am not a fan of this ship.
Now, a ship that we both kind of railed on, but you really had a rant on last week was the Enterprise J. And this was kind of funny. I mean, I thought when we did the show, I thought it was going to be possibly maybe an NPC ship.
Right.
It wasn't until after the show I learned it was going to be a playable ship. And then STOked came out in the forum and said, "Nah, guys, you got it wrong."
No, we weren't talking about the actual J. No. That would be silly.
When I was writing that engineering report and I put Enterprise J in there, what I really meant was like inspired from and an homage to things that go trending towards the Enterprise J.
Like sort of an evolution in the direction of...
Yeah. Ship engineering evolutionary design progressions. That's what I meant, but I shorthand that as Enterprise J. So sorry about the confusion on that. No,
I don't buy it.
You know what?
It's backpedaling.
Either way, it's listening to the community feedback and it's changing direction based on what people are saying.
Right. And
regardless, that's cool.
I don't know if it made it into the show, into the episode last year or last week, but I was talking about, I'd be totally on board with seeing like an Enterprise F, G, H, the iterations of ship designs that lead towards.
If you want to stick to canon design and you know that there is this marker out in the future that said this is the future design of starships, then it would make sense that as you release new models, as things progress, that you sort of
start
go
to iterate towards that. Right.
And that's kind of what he's saying now. And I think that's cool. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right.
I mean, we'll see. I actually have been less and less of a fan of the newer ship designs from the actual Star Trek series itself.
Well, we just saw recently some footage of a classic Connie flying in STO, and you were total ship boner about it,
And the Excelsior too.
It's the old ships that still speak to you.
And maybe it's just nostalgia.
Maybe.
Now, today is Saturday, and it was the first weekly episodic content. It was called Cold Call.
Yeah. It came out this morning.
It did.
Now, I was a little late to the party because I was driving from my house in the boonies out to your place. But you said that you and the Fleeties were sitting there at the edge of the zone line.
Yeah, this was something that I was completely unexpected, and it was really cool. You got to right up to the border, and it was just it was just a wall of ships. And everybody was waiting at the gates for that sector to open up. And one of our Fleeties said that when he opened up the instance chooser, there was like 19 or 20 instances, and they were all just full of people. And every instance he went to was just everybody was at the wall waiting to go in.
Despite that heavy load, by the time I was I was impressed that servers were performing just fine.
Yeah, there was some load time delay.
Of course,
it was smooth.
Yeah, and no crashes.
What'd you think of the content itself?
I gotta say, as a total package, loved it.
Yeah.
That also makes me a little frightened though, because they're trying to roll these things out on a weekly basis.
And here's the thing here's why I'm like, is the bar set too high? Because this was a whole new rollout at once. It seems very epic because it's so many new locations.
Right.
But this content will probably be taking place in these same locations for a while, at least some of it. And is it going to get old and maybe lose some of that epicness?
Maybe.
But so far, what we have seen super happy with. I don't know. I haven't seen what other people are saying.
You know,
yet.
I'm
What'd
really
you think?
impressed with this for a few reasons. First of all, the zone design of both the social zone and the one it's the same. It's like a copy of the same one. The social zone in Deferi's system, and the first mission where the ground combat there. That zone is brilliant. It's gorgeous.
Very well done. Some of the best ground environment I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I loved like the ships in the sky.
Oh yeah.
Very nice touch, and the architecture was good. It was modern, but it fit with the universe. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And
it was honestly a little Star Warsy.
Yeah.
At points.
It did seem, but Memory Alpha seems a little Star Warsy to me as well.
That's true.
And it felt busy. It felt active. It felt like a real Star Trek planet that I would beam down to.
Right. I feel like
you made.
they finally nailed some sort of spirit in some way, that this really felt like an episode from Star Trek. There are so many.
You know what really drove that episode feel home was when you zoned in. As your ship's zoning into the system, they did an episode title.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
That was great.
I love that.
That was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
We're doing an episode.
Yeah. And I'm honestly extremely excited now for Saturdays at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we're excited for the possibilities of it here in the show.
But we don't know how to put it in the show quite yet, because
if
you're probably
guys
playing
got
it
any
as well.
ideas, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Give us your feedback on that. You can email those comments over to STOked@jupiterbroadcasting.com.
Honestly, we're not inclined to do weekly reviews of the episodic content because we figure most of you are going to be playing it.
Right.
It'll come out on Saturday. These come out on a Tuesday. But if you've got some suggestions, we'd love to hear it, because we'll definitely, if nothing else, be playing it before we record each episode.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. Now, before we completely leave the episodic, the first mission, I wanted to say that also I felt like the ground combat was surprisingly refreshing.
I did too. I think this comes down to the design of the Breen sort of subclasses within the Breen.
Yeah, they had bioengineer, they had a tactician, and they had a standard soldier.
And scientists, those are the ones that you kept having trouble
and the
with.
scientists had an interesting attack ability where they could almost completely drain my shields with almost like a tractor beam looking type shot.
Yeah.
And why I bring that up specifically is I felt like there was a decent variation of the abilities in the groups.
Yeah.
So one group might have a scientist, another one might have
they were working in tandem with each other. Like if that scientist was dropping your shields, the tacticians could really rip you apart once your shields were down.
This is exactly something we were talking about several episodes ago. This variation in the go to this group, kill 5, go to this group, kill 5. But each time the groups are just slightly different, and it worked for me.
Yeah.
And also, I think the newness of the environment worked for me.
I think that helped.
Yeah, I think that probably plays more of a role than I probably give it credit.
Yeah.
So,
anybody playing this mission, if you haven't played it already by the time you've seen this, I will give you a warning up front. The boss of the ground combat, kind of a badass. So be prepared for that.
It was very cool. The coolest boss, because it had this great
it had like a built-in smoke machine, like he was on a Rockstar stage or something.
Well, we were playing the first one live, and I called him Mr. Freeze.
I'll see you when hell freezes over.
Totally Mr. Freeze, and it was great. And to prep myself for this first episode, I caught up on my Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
I tried to catch some of the most recent Breen appearances in Star Trek.
Oh God,
TV
you know
series.
what? I'm not a ship geek, but the Breen ships look fantastic.
I was specifically watching for that. I thought they did a great job.
Yes.
The outfits exactly match the Breen outfits at the end of the Dominion War. It was very cool. And also they sound cool. They have that great Breen sound effect.
Actually, I wanted to mention that because not only do they yell at you in combat, and you'll hear them sometimes doing that while you're in ground combat with them, but every time they pop up a communications thing, they'll do it as well.
Yeah.
Which means that there's potentially technology already being pushed into place to put voiceovers on those things. Even if it's just something as simple as the Breen's, garbledy-gook.
Fist bump. That'd be awesome. Good catch.
It's my pet. It's the feature I want to see come back.
Didn't we see something like it in beta?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
It was a nice touch, and it just pretty smooth. And even the space combat was a treat. I liked going up my first battle in space. I took on a couple of guys, and I thought, oh, you know what?
Yeah, those first ones you fight are pretty easy.
I'm kicking butt here. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, Breen. What's
Breen
up?
are a bunch of wimps.
What's up, Breen? And then a battle cruiser comes in, or what was it? Was it a battle cruiser?
It was a battleship.
That one was a little tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a tougher time with that one too?
I had to call in the reinforcements, the Photonic fleet, just to wipe them out. And,
yeah. It was fun, and then it had a cool ending. And
another thing I want to just say about the Deferi sector in general is, they didn't just roll out one mission with this. I don't know if you guys have already seen, but there's also a whole slew of like a patrol type daily.
Yeah.
That I didn't even get to finish the whole series, and there were at least 5 different missions in that, maybe even 6.
And you were playing one of them, and you completed it, and it was a space mission. It was
where
a combat.
I had to rescue a supply depot that was under attack.
Okay.
By the Green.
And you get to the end of it, and you hail the base, and then when you're done,
they're like, "Hey, since you're here, can you help us reestablish our defense net?"
Another mission.
2 missions in one.
In one zone. Epic, awesome, love it. For a couple of reasons. One, there's honestly times like in the evenings and whatnot that I just want to sit down and play in space. And when I do exploration, I never know what I'm going to get. Am I going to get ground combat space or what?
Even if you do a set of 3, let's say exploration, where it's space.
Yeah.
You still have to start zone, and then go back and find a new one and zone in and zone out and find it. This was simple.
I could stay in that same zone for an hour.
Yeah.
Keep giving me things to do. And not always, just sometimes that. And so I love that's a first step towards that. Awesome. And it's also more immersive because it's more realistic.
Right.
That's what they would do. They need your help.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool, too.
They're not going to wait until you're out in sector space before asking you to come fix their defense grid.
Now, we'd love to hear what you guys thought. We honestly haven't even had the chance to see what the feedback is in the forums yet. But we'd like to hear your comments, so leave it either over at jupitercolony.com or anywhere you're watching this in the comment section or whatnot.
Usually right down there.
Yeah, typically. Now, with all of the news out of the way, let's take a look back at the last year of Stoked.
Well, happy birthday to us, right?
Happy birthday, Jeremy!
But the ground looked fantastic.
It did.
And
it looked good.
And this was still in early development, but there was physics in the fact. Like one of the guys that Jeremy and I were playing with had us go over to this secret area that he had coded in, where there was just a bunch of tribbles in this area.
A whole pile of tribbles.
Yeah. And Jeremy ran through the tribbles, and as he hit them, the tribbles went off bounds.
Blah, blah, blah. They're annoying as hell. Nobody likes them. They have no friends, and they're kind of dicks. So those are the good guys? Really? Those are the good guys. So that's the best you can hope to be in a Star Wars massive multiplayer game, is this guy that's kind of a dick that gets a lightsaber, which granted, neon-colored swords, really cool idea, but it's really similar to like a Nerf gun. Nerf guns are neat in an office where you want to hit people with a Nerf gun, but come on.
There was an automatic tweet sent from, the little tag at the bottom said, sent from Star Trek Online.
Shut up!
That said his character had reached level 25. So this means that there's an actual internally playable game that they're out there playing.
So he's out there playing it, and you're also confirming they do have the Twitter. They have the Twitter.
Oh, that's right. They have levels.
I was going to say they have the Twitter integration, and they do have levels.
I thought they didn't have levels.
I thought they didn't have levels. I didn't even catch that.
How did you not catch that?
My mind is blown.
The tweet can only have 140 characters, and it was entirely dedicated to which level it was at. That'd be like me tweeting, "Hey everybody, I just took a poop," and you noticing, "Oh hey, Brian was awake at 6 a.m." Not that Brian took a poop.
Horrible alien flu virus that's just
a bunch of the staff are out.
Yeah. So the only people that were there was but this is an interview with a dude named David Stahl. David Stahl, like I mentioned earlier, was our boy. He's the guy that first showed us.
He was our boy
at PAX. He's also he's got a little guest appearance at the beginning of our PAX video.
He does, yeah.
You guys had a chance to play the game yet?
No.
Hop on. Let's get somebody on here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of Stoked, our podcast all about Star Trek Online. And with me is Jeremy.
That's me.
And Brian is out saving the world today, so he is unable to join us.
We wish him Godspeed.
I like the idea of it. I think it'd be kind of cool to get a drone on my bridge. And if I'm going to pre-order anyways.
I don't. Maybe if it's like a 7 of 9 drone, and I don't mean just a sexy chick in a tight outfit. I mean like maybe I kind of do.
Boom, you already were in the Star Trek beta, y'all.
Yeah.
And we're going to send you emails, y'all. And then what happened was...
I don't think they said y'all quite so much.
Yeah, beta's going. You guys are going to get emails. Woo! And then everyone's like, great. I paid like $8 billion so I could get in this beta. Woo! And then everyone's like, so Cryptic, any idea of how many people are getting in? Silence.
It's probably going to blow everybody's minds, so everybody put on your brain buckle because I don't want you to get brains all over your computer, so strap your brain in.
Did you just call it
a brain buckle?
It's like a headband.
Oh, so it's like a sweatband from like the 1980s.
But with a big buckle.
with a
on the front.
buckle, and then it also comes with a thing you put over your screen. That way you don't get brain all over your screen.
You know, tripedal, really, guys?
But it goes behind them. Never mind.
I'm
Never mind.
just saying, if you're gonna go tripedal, jump all the way and go quad.
Yeah.
Have four legs going down.
Right.
You got 3. That's just kind of begging for a reference. I'm just saying.
We're just saying there's a reference that could be made there.
It could be.
As to what that third leg
Here's the
might
thing.
actually be.
Those creatures are fully shape-shifting. They can look like anything in this
Sure.
universe, right? So they choose to have. Okay, now it makes sense.
No, yeah.
They choose
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have
Right,
that
yeah,
third leg. Yeah.
No, it all makes sense.
I had to think through it for a second, guys.
You worked through the
but-
logic there. Good job,
Yeah,
Brian.
hell, if I was a shapeshifter, I'd be tripedal too.
I don't know.
We don't know, but it's. I think it's
enough though.
wheels within wheels.
Right?
Is what I'm thinking.
So obviously it's a great trailer.
No, wait,
just to
Chris,
get
hold on a
information.
second.
Yeah.
Jeremy, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What the F does wheels within wheels mean?
Well, okay, maybe I can use a different
You know,
analogy.
what are
It's
those
like
dolls?
an onion.
What are those dolls that you
yeah,
stack?
or the
No.
Russian dolls.
Those Russian dolls. where
the
you-
Paratroishka or whatever doll. No.
Right.
Wheels within wheels.
I don't know. It's a quote I found somewhere.
You did
It's
not.
the same thing.
You did not find that quote somewhere. You just
It's
made
not
that
in
up
the
just now,
you know
and it
what?
does not
Google
make
me.
even a little bit of sense.
I'll Google wheels within wheels.
Thanks.
So we can get some resolution to this burning quest.
Trailer.
Brush up your Bible. Wheels within wheels.
That's not it.
Awesome.
That's not it.
That's where it's from, dude. I'm just saying. It's
Oh, Brian's computer died.
Nice. Mine just friggin' turn off.
So this little extra
What in the
element
F?
of tactical combat is I think
great.
gonna be
It's
gonna be
great.
great.
I blame the moon for doing this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like if we didn't have the moon,
do we not like the moon?
we don't like the moon.
we don't like the moon
sorry.
either. It's worth checking out. It is low budget. It is hard to jump past that.
You know,
But
it's
to
not
be
as-
honest
it's not
with you,
that bad though.
it's more faithful to the Star Trekkiness, in my opinion, than the J.J. Abrams movie, which was more, I don't know.
Well, you know what? The
It
people
was like Grey's
watching
Anatomy. I don't know what
watching
that was.
Stoked. I mean, it's a much higher budget than Stoked, and they love this. So
So yeah.
So if they're willing to
There's
put up
that.
with this crap,
Bajoran, start the game out with VD. Right.
but somebody.
I'm about to cover may be considered a gameplay spoiler. And so what I'm going to do is right now there's a spoiler warning up if you're watching the video version.
Oh.
There's a spoiler warning up around us. And you
that's
might just
pretty.
you might
No,
just
good choice there.
Thank you. You like that?
Holy crap!
I know. Whoa, look at that.
Kids out there, if you are trying to be professional in doing a podcast,
This is how you do it.
This is how you do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Pay
the way to
attention.
go. Yeah,
This is
And
the
then-
key part.
This is the key part. If you do need to tinkle,
Just go.
you don't have to talk about it.
All
You
right,
just
go.
Okay,
All right,
here we
go.
go.
All right, so there was I think it was actually 2 weekends ago, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 2
It was
weeks ago?
well. It was after our last recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was somebody out there who's probably no longer playing beta anymore.
Naughty.
Live stream the whole thing on Justin.tv. We have from beautiful California, Daniel Stahl from Cryptic, and he is the producer of Star Trek Online. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Awesome. I'm ecstatic to be here.
Arya, I bet.
Oh, you're gonna get mathed again.
Oh, crap. I need a math disclosure thing.
Sector space is an adaptation. I try to consider it as this anyway of things like flight path systems in World of Warcraft or stuff like that. It's long distance traveling,
Dude,
but you have your
way
hands
better
on.
than anything like that.
But it's an adaptation and an evolution of that same concept.
That's like saying that the human race is an adaptation of the trout. So the last item before we get to our live Q&A session is Suricata has
Suricata.
has kind of been well known for creating some just amazing artwork. He's done some backgrounds for the show.
Not this one.
No, this isn't necessarily the one they're going to see.
Oh, well, it's still not this one.
No, not the ones for the live stream.
Oh, it might be this one.
It might be. So let's see here. This is the button here. All right, so that's my desktop. Oh, that's the 2 cam.
That's the
the
desktop.
1 cam. Nice.
That's us.
So I'll jump to this if somebody wants to call in
With video.
Now you don't automatically get on the, so I get to screen it. So you can't just be throwing something on there that you shouldn't be throwing on there.
If you call us in and it's your butt, it's not going to get on the stream.
No. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make Jeremy look at the screen and then tell me if it's okay to look. So that way, if it is your butt, I don't even have to see that. Are you ready for the crazy onslaught that's going to happen? And you know what they said?
What?
Well, you know what they said.
I know what they
But
said.
what surprised me was the response was, well, we're not really sure what the response from the audience is going to be. We've been so heads down on the game that we honestly don't know if...
them.
Yeah, we said, oh, no, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And the thing is us saying that isn't enough to tell Atari, okay, you need to go spend another $400,000 on servers.
It should have been. Don't they know who they're talking to?
Well,
For serious, my friends. Right, so that's how it's divided up. Now you know.
Now you know. We've had some people asking, and people are like, I don't know which side it's supposed to go to. It's as simple as,
In fact,
show related,
Brian
it
was
goes to
asking
Colin.
that.
Brian was asking that.
He was like, well, why do we need another site?
Brian,
I think my exact quote was, no, I already have a forum. I'm never going to go to the new one. And I think that's what I said exactly.
isn't Brian adorable?
Yeah, Brian's pretty cute.
He's cranky about things.
Yeah, but you want to snuggle with me at the same
That's
time.
true.
Yeah.
I'm so conflicted on the inside. All right, so let's pick one of our next little math segments. So this one's getting pretty geeky.
Yeah, this is actually getting into it. I want to talk to you guys about the turning radius on some of the shuttles. A lot of people have about the fact that specifically cruisers don't always turn so very well.
And for the first time ever, we're with Dan, also better known as Gozer, a.k.a. The Goze, from Cryptic Studios.
Hey there, Dan.
So also all of this math applies directly to mines, but mines suck, so don't use them.
Yeah,
Why
you know,
would you use them?
because you can kind of poop them out as you fly along. Maps.
Yeah,
All right, good math, dude. Good
I
math.
know.
You just taught men how to fish.
The state of the game.
What do you
It's
want?
not a press
do you want?
release.
It's not a press release. Do you want hoity-toity stiffies?
No, I
Or
really
do you
don't.
want-
I would like
Do
hoity-toity
you want real
stiffies. Thank you
people
very
making
much.
your game that you can interact with?
I do like real people, and that's why
So if they were standoffish and we're
all
just
right,
like,
forget the point. I don't want to complain too much about it.
I don't
want to
forget the point about the hoity-toity stiffies. Let's focus on the point there.
Let's
a
focus
minute.
on the point.
Of the stiffies.
Of
The point of
stiffies.
this.
Okay, moving forward.
Watching the video right behind us, we're hanging out right now in the crystalline entity instance of Star Trek Online
me
with
get-
a huge quantity of the Jupiter Force.
Look at this.
Yes.
That's our fleet right
Just
well,
rocking out. You can. Yeah, that's not bad.
God, that's gorgeous. Look at that background.
Yeah, isn't that great? I know. I just had to stop for a second. I'm like, okay, that looks really pretty.
Listen, learn, and then move on. Till next time, you got mathed. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to this week's You Got Math.
You know, wait a minute. If this is every player,
Mm-hmm.
I probably shouldn't say this on the air, but couldn't a smart guy figure out the exact number
This
of
is
accounts?
exactly what I was going to get into. Is this whole thing raises a lot of privacy issues, and
I probably shouldn't have said that on the air because now they're going to fix that. And welcome to Stoked, episode 30. My name is Chris.
I'm Jeremy.
Hey there, Jeremy.
Hi.
Hey, did you notice? Drop the season thing.
I know. Well, that's good because it was kind of confusing
It was
anyway,
confusing. I mean, it's weird for us because it's like going without pants,
right?
which
That's not that weird.
I am totally doing right now. But but for you, you won't notice at all.
And that's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Until next week, you got mathed.
It is now time for our mail segment. Last week, we asked you to write us about your ideas for PvP. Right? And
Yeah, we did.
got-
Persistent PvP, large scale.
Right. That was something we floated and we talked about last episode, and we got a lot of feedback. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
And stay
I'll be
tuned to the
quite
end of the
honest.
segment for
In
next
the
question.
last week or so, we've probably gotten more feedback from that single episode than we've gotten since beta. So
yeah,
thanks, and we'll
Yeah.
keep asking you questions. We'll have another one for you.
yeah, we have another one coming up. But so
Guaranteed at least blue drops.
Super nice drop.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody say purple drops could be?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's why I said at least blue.
At least
try
blue.
to pay attention. Well,
Well-
there's two hosts on this show.
there are.
Yeah.
Well, this one's a lot better than that one. I'm just saying because this one wants purple drops. I'd give you purple drops. He's giving you blue drops. Who do you
At
love?
least. God, never mind.
I fell into a burning ring of Jeremy.
Down, 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 and Jeremy was on fire.
And it burns, burns, burns. The plasma fire. I also was a great, big, huge fan of Alvin and the Chipmunks. We're gonna have poker on the lounge on our ship.
oh,
You like poker?
I like poker.
Yeah.
I like that.
You want to play against other captains or your bridge officers, or
Both. How sweet would it be if you could do just like the ground combat is now? Mm-hmm. Your
where it's
boss
always 5?
your boss fill in. I want that, Cryptic. Look, we know you guys got a budget. You got to operate on, but You got to get better screenshots than this. So here's what we're going to do for you. This is just a favor from your buddies at STOked.
This is for stall.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. Pause the app in about 2 seconds. Pause the video and then go grab Craig.
Yeah.
You know, Jeremy, I really like these great screenshots they keep posting, but I've really noticed something.
The quality is lacking, isn't it?
Indeed, if I'm going to get excited, I need it to look its best. I wish there was some way they could post better looking screenshots.
Maybe if Daniel Stahl, our favorite executive producer or whatever the hell he is ever, had a better machine.
Right? Then I could get more excited about these screenshots.
Okay, cut.
There you go. You're welcome. All right.
All right.
Why don't we roll our first segment of Tactical View. Today we're taking you on a journey through the Starfleet episode Tears of the Prophet. This is a captain-level mission that takes place in the Cardassian system, located in the Beta Ursa sector block, and can be obtained by speaking with Captain James Kurland at Deep Space Nine.
Okay, most of them have titles, which I know a lot of people think is just kind of fluff, but when you earn a title like
When you've earned it, like
Torpedo Target,
because you've been hit so many times by torpedoes?
yes,
I like that.
right in my face.
I like that.
So now I'm flying Torpedo Target Bordicus on dribble.
It is kind of a cool, unexpected
Let me
feeling.
tell you another story.
All right.
Settle in, it's story time, ladies
Here we
and
go.
gentlemen. I was playing Champions Online. You might have heard of it. It's another
I
Cryptic.
recall that.
And so I spent one day just flying around Millennium City doing nothing.
Checking it out because it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was, I stumbled across an accolade for flying to the top of all 5 or 6 of the giant buildings in the middle of Millennium City.
Of course you did.
And it was just, I flew to the next one and I landed to get a better view and bing, accolade.
That's pretty cool. And
That's cool. I like that.
and that really would only apply to guys like you who are just checking it out for the fun
Yes.
of it, right?
But let's get back to Stowe because this isn't coked.
That's right. The Rapier went missing more than 6 years ago while on routine patrol to the Gamma Quadrant. So set phasers to fun and prepare to take your ship into Bajer's celestial anus.
All right. Well, why don't we get into some of the gameplay?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Why don't you shut up so I can say this so you can play it in the show?
Oh, there we go. There we go. We must have just been using too much of the internet.
We were interneting
Too many internets going on right now.
We were interneting way too hard. We're going to give you our ideas, so why don't you kick off, dude?
So hopefully this will get your brain juices flowing, and then you can give us some good ones. Now, I'm about to give you a suggestion that's probably going to blow your face off again. We don't want suggestions like this because this is completely outlandish and far-fetched.
Probably will never be able to happen.
No.
So we probably should try to keep it within the realm of possibility.
Yeah. Don't be Jeremy.
But if we're going to be
But
like
here
Jeremy,
I go.
Okay.
I'm going to be like Jeremy.
All right.
My suggestion is this.
So fitting.
Scrap it. Start over from the beginning and turn the whole freaking ground system into a third-person cover shooter.
That is radical.
This is the Federation Diplomatic Corps. That means that this content is completely off limits to Klingons.
Unless you could play a Klingon.
A
who joins
Klingon
the Feds.
diplomat? I mean, I know they exist, but it's not really...
You are being a racist.
Maybe a little bit. What if when you get to level 65, you finally get the ability to promote your bridge officers to captains, and they can fly your other ships, your previous ships that you've already earned and outfitted and customized. So when you're flying around in your tier 7
Is
epic...
so much better than my idea.
Yeah?
By a bajillion times.
Are you going to even say yours now?
Well, because my idea is what I think is actually going to happen,
Oh.
and it's just going to be a title. That's
Oh.
my idea. Fleet Admiral is just a title, but I would way rather your idea. That's for sure. That would be awesome.
He's not working for Cryptic or anything
They
like
bought
this.
the rights.
But he announced that they bought all of the art, all of his design documents, everything. They are now owners of
That
his minigame ideas.
It's such a cool way to do it because obviously there was strong community response because our feedback was huge.
Yep.
The feedback in the forums over at the Stowe forums was huge. That's awesome because it really inspires future people to come up with really flushed out ideas for the game.
Yeah, well, that could be a bad thing, but I mean, a lot of
They
the
don't have to buy them all, and hopefully they won't. Just the good ones.
Anything else we want to cover?
no, that's about it. Let's do the interview.
Let's do it. Well, on the line, we have Daniel Stahl, the executive producer of Star Trek Online, the new executive producer. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Hey, welcome, guys. I'm glad to be here. You know,
been
we
months.
go way back.
We do. It's been a long time.
We were just actually looking. We did an interview with you almost exactly 6 months ago.
Yep.
I know. I'll tell you what I've been spending all my time though on is
Dabo!
Dabo.
Yeah, love Dabo. It's a ton of fun. Also, with just, in my personal opinion, just enough social interaction. We'll all group up or arrange ourselves around a system before
And we'll
we
have
go
a
in.
whole posse flying through sector space from one spot to another.
It's actually kind of cool.
It's neat to watch, and that's
Yeah.
another thing is if you did it all internally, how
We're like a
how would
rabid pack of
groups-
ninjas.
If you were all grouped up, how would you handle the ship interior? Would everybody be beamed to the leader's bridge?
I think so.
The number 2 request, and I think you agree with this one a lot, is abolish zoning.
Oh, yeah.
Get
No
rid of the
more
zone
traffic
lines.
control. Space, big.
Yeah.
And traffic control, dumb. So what I would like to do is, especially if I'm on my bridge, but even if I'm just blasting through sector space, that's usually when I go get a sandwich.
Yeah.
So, or a cup of coffee, or a Red Bull. I'll be flying through sector space, I'll set my course, and I'll go get my sandwich, but by the time I come back, I'm getting a prompt from border control.
You know, at the very least, allow us an option in the current game as it stands to auto zone.
called sandwich mode. Right?
Yeah.
Make it a sandwich. I'll be back.
It's kind of a sad state that I'm able to play the game to Admiral without that being in there.
It does say a little bit about the game, don't you think? I mean, you've spent no time
No,
invested in any.
it
of
was a
your
conscious
skills.
decision though, but it just makes me wonder what the hell's that about.
New captain.
Holy sh!
My bad. Like I've got a captain alt. If one of my friends has a lieutenant commander alt, we can still PvP against each other if we want to.
That would be painful for the lower one.
Yeah, but if they want to challenge me to a duel,
Yeah.
suck it. Use of any controller is not fully supported at this time in STO, and the design of the UI and the game mechanics are not very intuitive. There is a large learning curve to making this work.
And then at the end of the show, towards the rear, last but not least, it's your feedback regarding your mission ideas. We had you submit them, and then we put them up for a vote. We've got the winner.
So one last thing, that's basically all that there was in the Ask Cryptic.
Are you going to mention the? what I think you're
Yes,
gonna
I
mention?
am, because I just find this amusing. The very last question in the Ask Cryptic was, when are we going to be able to sit in chairs?
Yeah.
I find this amusing because the answer was basically, that technology is hard.
Yeah.
It just seems so ridiculous that sitting in a chair is hard.
I guess computers can't do everything better than us, right?
I guess. A massive number of submissions from you guys.
Let's just say it's in the ballpark of like 9,000 different submissions.
I think it was way over 9,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, it looks worse than the Jupiter Dreadnought. And everybody hates that
I like
space
the Jupiter
whale.
Dreadnought.
No, you don't.
No.
You're retarded if
Well-
you like that ship.
I like that it's got the name Jupiter.
I do that, yeah.
All right, everyone. Now I think that'll wrap up our 1-year anniversary episode. I hope everyone enjoyed looking back at the last year. Before we sign out, we've got a couple of things to say. Personally, I think we both, I'll speak for both of us here, but we're really excited
for
about the next year for Stoked.
Dude.
Big time.
Dude.
There's a couple of things that we think are going to be huge for the show.
These
Obviously,
weekly content.
Yeah, if these weekly content keep being as great as they are and keep being pumped out, that's a lot of opportunity for the show. Mm-hmm. But also, we think what's going to be a huge opportunity for the show will be user-generated content.
We're already excited. If you've been watching this, and you probably are if you're watching this one, user-generated content has been in the forefront of our interests.
And we cannot wait to work with you guys on creating some awesome episodes, featuring them in future episodes of Stoked and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to be really cool. So I know that's what I'm really excited about.
Just want to let you know, this is, we're still looking through the bios that you sent us. But because of this whole 1-year anniversary thing, the celebration, putting all the clips together and everything, we didn't get time to go through them all. So we're going to do that next week.
Yeah, which means you still actually have a couple more days to send them in. So shoot them over to stoked@jupiterbroadcasting.com. If this is coming out on Tuesday, you're going to have Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll probably look at them on this Thursday.
The reason is we're going to PAX that weekend.
Woo-hoo!
We normally would shoot this on a Saturday, but we'll be at PAX next weekend, and we're going to find some stuff to root out for you guys, and then we'll be featuring your community feedback in that episode too.
Right.
So you got a couple more days. Send them in.
I guess that's all
I
we
think
got.
that's-
Before we sign off, though, I also have a personal message that I would like to share, mainly with the guys that have been with us since the beginning. A full year ago.
Yeah.
It's been a long road, getting from there to here, and it's been a long time. But my time is finally here, and I can see my dreams come alive at last. I can touch the sky, and I'm not going to let them hold me down no more. No. I'm not going to let them make me cry, because I've got faith of the heart, and I'm going where the wind will take me. And I've got faith of the soul, and I can do anything. I got faith. I believe, and nothing's going to bend or break me because I've got faith. I've got faith. Faith of the heart.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well, we did tease that Cryptic sent us a 1-year happy birthday, guys, wishes. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's something roughly meaning
We'll
happy
let them
birthday.
say it because clearly we can't. We'll let them play us out for this episode.
All right, everyone. Well, enjoy that, and we'll see you back over at Jupiter Broadcasting next Tuesday. And until then, have a great Stow week.
How's it going, Stoked? This is Andy Velasquez, producer from Star Trek. Me and Minnie's Black just want to wish you a happy anniversary. So, congrats on 1 year.
For your 1 year anniversary, congratulations, Stoked.
Hey, Chris and Jeremy, congratulations on the year anniversary of Stokes. Captain Logan approves.
Hey, Stoked Bros. Thanks for a year of Wheels Within Wheels. I look forward to another year.
Hey, Stoke team, congrats on the 1 year. Here's hoping for many more.
What's up, Stokes? Congratulations on your 1 year, and you guys are amazingly freaking awesome. I wish you guys knew how awesome you are.
Hey guys, this is Storm Shade. Just wanted to congratulate you on your 1 year anniversary. Live long and prosper. Keep going.
What's up, guys? It's your old pal Indigo Fire. Congratulations on your 1 year anniversary. Keep it classy, yo.
Hey, Stokes, congrats on your 1 year anniversary.
Stoked. Holy cow, it's been a year. I was at PAX and I was just standing around and we were next to that really loud Alienware booth. You guys came up with your video camera and you were like, hey, show us the game. And I was like, heck yes, I'll show you the game. And guess what? You guys made a podcast and a year later, you're going strong. Congratulations.
It's Stoked 49 in 3, 2. All right. 3, 2. What? 3, 2. No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm not a part of this.
That's always the problem, Jeremy. Here we go.
There are two hosts on this show,
Oh, there are? I only see one. Tuesday, you guys, tune in for another episode of Stoked. I didn't like that ending.